Good evening, everyone. This is Anon. None of this is financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Today we're going to be going over a couple different charts, going through, starting everything out. I had a a tornado warning here, and my neighbor needed to get this house bailed out. I was going to start earlier, but, well, we're good now. His basement didn't flood, so that's good. So, let's go ahead and get things started. Alright, let's see if this is getting pushed out. Need to... I think we're started. Alright, let me just make sure. Nobody's in here yet. Okay, there it goes. It took a minute to jump on there. What's up, Goat? What's up, Spooner? Yeah, see you guys. What's going on? Jerry, Hunter, Drake. Let's see. I have to look at YouTube how it comes up for you guys, because on my thing, Goat and Spooner were the first ones according to my thing. But yeah, we got a little volume today. I mean, the stock's up 15 cents. That's not a bad thing. What's up, Pothead Candles? All right, so yeah, on my thing it shows Goat was the top, and then Spooner was at the same timestamp. So it looks like tied for first on my timestamp at least. All right, so let's take a look, get everything posted. We'll put it in and on YouTube. Look at the server settings. There's something for security tab. Oh, that's right. I need to get a verification bot. Probably would be smart. Ty goes the goat. What's up, Spencer? What's up, Yes? Hunter? Jerry, Earthium. Alright, so let's get... Can we please talk about Redbox? Sure. So the warrants are, from what I understand, were quote-unquote canceled until... Now, here's the thing. I have to find this guy's... I think he put it on the Discord, so let me find it, because this is obviously a change. But he did link the thing from Investor Relations that said that... Here. So, my apologies for the delay at this time. The registration statement is suspended, so the warrants are not exercisable. We will let you know as soon as there's visibility on the reinstatement. Now, what you have to understand is those warrants will be reinstated at some point. So, yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. I sold most of my Redbox today as well. I did know this as well, but I also understand there's two parts to this, and let me kind of explain to you guys what's going on. So let me pull up real quick. I wrote something up about this to basically kind of talk to you guys about, and I just want to make sure that you guys understand. I talked to my buddy Sean over at Dilution Tracker, and we were talking about the Redbox for a little bit. And he said that it's a very interesting situation because it's a highly shorted stock and constantly on reg show, because the shorts know as soon as the merger closes, it's going to become a 0.087 CSSE shares. So they basically become worthless. At the same time, though, because it's highly shorted, it's easily squeezed because it's also small float, and this amount of shorts are small, so they can't withstand all the squeezes. So the float is so low, it's going to be violent, and until the merger closes, anything's game. So the stock will probably tank as soon as the merger date is actually set, and it gets near that date. As far as the warrants, I'm not 100% about the registration status. he said, I'm not 100% about the registration status. If IR is saying it's suspended, I don't see any evidence of that in the filings yet. If they are still exercisable, then the squeeze might meet a lot of resistance once it goes to 1150 and the float increases, and people exercising their warrants will alleviate the tight short supply, and then markets will be flooded with shares. So that's what like Sean had wrote me. And I thought that was very interesting because he said that, even though investor relations at Redbox said that they are quote unquote suspended, at any time they can be reinstated. And if that happens, then what will end up happening is it will be the same concept as before. Now, the thing about 18, do you have any like filings that I can look at for that? Because he and I didn't see them as of this morning when we were talking. So I would have to see the new filing that says that they are at 18 and only 20 if for 20 days according to their S1. Okay, let's see. They are at 18 and only if for 20 days. I think that's something separate. Let me just make sure I got this right. By the way, we do have a deal with a dilution tracker. He nicely gave us a code if you guys are interested in that. It actually is a really helpful site. I'm giving him free plugs just because he's been really helpful about like walking retail through a bunch of different like scenarios and reading the filings. He's really good at those things. So, but we do have a discount code if you guys are interested. I have it in the Discord. All right, so let's pull up Redbox real quick. We can talk about it. Obviously, they have a high cash need, but this is what we see right here. I can take a screenshot of this real quick. He said I can use a couple screenshots just so you guys can see. All right, so he was saying that right here, he hasn't seen any changes on the SPAC warrants that were at 1150. So I know you guys are saying that there's something on the $18 ones, but I don't see them listed on his site, and he was going through it today. So we'll have to see if he missed anything or if maybe... Is this the new S1 for the merger? For Redbox. Let me see the date on this. All right, the date on this is... Where's the date? This was November 2021. So I don't think this is the right one. But let me just check this out. You said it was 18 and it was in their S1. So let's type in 18. Okay, we may redeem your unexpired warrants prior to their exercise that is disadvantageous to you, making your warrants worthless. We have the ability to redeem outstanding warrants at any time after they become exercisable and prior to their expiration at a price of 0.01 per warrant, provided by the last reported sales price of the Class A common stock equals or exceeds $18. As adjusted for... So I'm going to pull this up for you guys so we can read it together. So, let's read it together. I forgot to tell everyone that we're in here. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put this link in the YouTube real quick. Sorry, I'll be 1 second. Let me just put this out real quick. All right. So put that in there. And then we're just going to do our normal thing where we tweet it out too. And then I keep saying I need to get active on Twitter, but I never actually do it. My days have been very busy. I need to be able to, like I wanted to work on with DD, but I haven't been able to. Like I had to do payroll today at my job, so, and then I had to run out to the post office and another job site, so I was not able to work on everything I wanted to. Okay. If you guys want to read it for yourselves, I'm going to post it inside the chat real quick. Here we go. I got the new link. What's the new link? Okay. So Z22, we wanted to talk about this. So it says, we may redeem your unexpired warrants prior to their exercise that is disadvantageous to you, thereby making your warrants worthless. First off, that's not a great statement, but okay, let's read on. We have the ability to redeem outstanding warrants at any time after they become exercisable and prior to their expiration at a price of a penny per warrant, provided that the last reported sales stuff equals or exceeds $18 a share, as adjusted for adjustment to the number of shares issuable upon exercise or the exercise price of the warrant described as description of securities, redeemable warrants, public warrants for any 20 days of trading within a 30-day period. So is that saying that if the stock goes above $18 that they can basically buy them back for a penny? Because that's kind of what it sounds like. Does that? All right, I want you guys to read this with me. Make sure I'm reading this right. But we have the ability to redeem, meaning take back, outstanding warrants at any time, right, after they become exercisable, which means the price is above that strike price, and prior to their expiration at a penny per warrant, provided that the last reported sales price of the Class A commons equals or exceeds $18 per share for basically 20 trading days. So if the stock price is above $18 per share for 20 straight days or within a 30-day trading period, which will give proper notice of the redemption if these conditions are met. And if the warrants are redeemable by us, we may not exercise our... All right. What do you guys think? What does that say? Am I missing something? I know. It'd be really easy if they just wrote that in plain English so we can be like, yeah, if the stock price goes over this for a certain amount of time, these are worthless. Let's see. No, I think that's saying the opposite, Izzy. I think literally that's saying that if the stock price goes up and over $18 per share, that means they can basically buy them back for a penny and you're screwed. It literally says we may redeem your unexpired warrants prior to exercise at a time that is disadvantageous to you, making your warrants worthless. I guess that's only for warrant holders, though, right? Maybe that's just for the warrant holders, and most people are buying shares, not warrants. They do have warrants. Let me do this real quick. We can figure this out. Well, that's what I need to figure out. Let's see. Let's pull it up on here. All right, so let's pull up Redbox real quick. Yeah, they have a Redbox like /warrants or something, right? Yeah, Redbox Inc. warrants. Yeah, these are them right here. I just want to see. This was at $4, right? At its like last run up. I got all the way up to $4. All right. I'm going to throw this link out for you guys. So if somebody wants to deep dive into this, personally for me, I'm not playing it that long. I don't, it's a lot of extra stuff I don't want to have to deal with. But let's figure this out real quick. I will link this to my buddy Sean and see what he thinks. If you exercise your warrants on a cashless basis, you'll receive fewer shares of Class A stock. Okay, so they're talking about cashless warrants there. All right, let me do this. I'm going to copy this section and ask him what he thinks that means. Hold on, let me get the whole thing, including our... Okay, I just sent it off to him. Let's see what he thinks. Yeah, this is for Redbox, but let's go ahead and take a look real quick. Well, no, so I think what it's saying, if I'm reading this correctly, is we may redeem your unexpired warrants prior to their exercise time. That is disadvantageous to you, thereby making your warrants worthless. I think they're trying to say if you're a warrant holder, like if you're the people holding the warrants, if the stock price goes equal to 18 or above, that for over 20 days, they can basically buy back your warrants for a penny, if I'm reading that right. Which means that anyone that's holding a warrant would not want that. All right. Let's go back and catch up to everybody. Oh, what's up, Big Lebowski? Yeah, I don't know what the legal ramifications are, Z22, if Redbox canceled their merger. My guess is they signed the paperwork. Obviously, they signed it not knowing what the stock was going to do. I actually thought the same thing about Spurt when that was squeezed, running up again. Should they just cancel the deal when they could actually have raised money and done another business deal? But I'm guessing that they wanted it to go through, and who knows. All right, so Spooner, they sold it. Hyun's here, Jesse's here. Okay, your broadcasts on the car system. You're being broadcast on the car system at 1,800 watts. Cool. Cool. All right. So 19 if you count the doors. He's going to cough and blow out your windows. Actually, my cough has been under control today. It's been pretty good. I did take some advice of some people, and I tried doing the apple cider vinegar to kind of neutralize some of the stomach acids, and so far I think it's been working pretty well. So it doesn't taste good, but it's good, right? All right. I love how people say Redbox warrants are locked, but that's because they're not exercisable at the price. Yeah, it's not quite the same. You guys have to make sure you understand that. But yeah, I agree with you, Jeff Cat Buckeye. I wish they wrote this stuff in plain English. Or at least had somebody smart enough to translate it for your average person that doesn't speak legalese. All right. Yeah, so I don't want anyone to take this as financial advice. We need to figure out what it actually means. I'd like to hear back from my buddy Sean over at Delusion Tracker and see what he thinks about the. I just sent him off the clip of the S1 about the warrants and see how he thinks that factors into everything. All right. Yeah, only the warrant holders. Wait, I see it as the warrant holders want the exercise price above or that. Yeah, I think it's actually the opposite. I think warrant holders would not be happy if the stock price gets up because it says basically that makes your warrants able to be bought back at a penny. At least that's what I took from it. So, but let's see what an actual person that reads legalese all the time thinks of it. All right. All right, let's read. Let's catch up to everybody. Sorry, I had a jelly bean. I'm just sitting down here. That looked good. All right. Nobody should be holding it for 20 days. Okay, so let's just kind of cover that again, just to make sure everyone understands. So, Investor Relations wrote back, apparently. I did not confirm this email to make sure that this is actually Investor Relations at Redbox. It looks like it, but, I'm going to take it at face value. They said basically that the registration statement is suspended, so the warrants are not exercisable. We will let you know as soon as there's visibility on the reinstatement. That to me says that they will reinstate the warrants at some point. Probably when the merger date comes out, or but Sean over at Delusion Tracker basically wrote me and said that he did not see anything on the filings that indicated that was true. He basically said, as for the warrants, I'm not 100% about the registration status if IR says it's been suspended. I don't see any evidence of the filings yet. If they are exercisable, then the squeeze might meet some resistance when it goes above 1150, and the float will increase with people exercising their warrants, which will alleviate the tight short supply. So there's IR saying that the warrants are suspended, the ones at 11. My buddy Sean says they haven't seen any filings that have stated that. So this has now become, there's no official documents that are saying it, but IR is apparently saying it. So I'd like to trust the ones that are filed with the SEC, and so far he hasn't seen them. So if you guys want to jump on right now, if you guys don't know how to search on that, you should learn. So we can kind of, if you want, I can show you how to do that. So let's go to Edgar. Edgar filings. Okay, I'm going to link it in here for you guys. If you are new to this channel or you haven't done this before, I want to go ahead and get this so you guys can learn how to do this. So I'm going to link it in here right now, so it's in the comments. So what we're going to do right now is you type in this. You go to, this is the Edgar system. So it's part of the SEC, United States and Exchange Commission, right? And then you put in the ticker. Obviously, I've searched for this before, but in this case, let's look up RDBX, right? Redbox. There's also the ones for the warrants. But in this case, we're just going to take a look. Yeah, I mean, the problem with this one is I don't see a clear picture at this point, and it sounds like there's a lot of confusion. And usually, what that means is, investor relations is saying the warrants are suspended, but the filings apparently haven't said that. So let's look at the filings. Maybe we'll find something new. So this is the latest filing. Let's take a look at it. So this was, what is this one? Let's take a look. This is a non-accelerated filing. Explanation. Okay, this is a post-effective amendment number 1. Post-effective, blah, 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 legalese. It's been updated here for the quarter. This is, I guess, the quarterly report. Okay, so this is saying that there's 60, right? 1,000 shares of Class A common stock. There's another 6 million in warrants to purchase Class A stock, along with private placement, right, of 10 million of Class A common stock. There's also, let's see, and 32 million Class A underlying with an equal number of shares for Class B. So we'd have to go through the original filings and look at what the Class B stuff is, but it should tell us over here. This is about the prospectus. All right, I just want to see what this covers. Basically, you can search through and this. So you'll have to learn how to read these things. It's not something. What I like to do is I like to just start Googling stuff, right? So if I don't understand what something is, I'll just look it up, and I'll keep doing that until I figure out how to read these things. Let's do this. I just want to see, is this the... I got to table of contents real quick. So this is basically the overarching, this is the preliminary prospectus. And I guess it was subject to completion dated June. So this should have most of the stuff in here. So we can take a look at... Now, fun thing, if you want to, you can Control F, and you can say warrants, right? And you can scroll through real quickly and come up with everything that says warrants, right? So right here, this is the one where it says the current calculated by the 1150 strike price, the warrants divided by the exchange ratio. So this is talking about the 1150 warrants here, which is part of the merger agreements, I guess. Yeah, with Redco, CSSE. That's what he was talking about. Remember, guys, when he says... As for Redbox, it's a very interesting situation because it's highly shorted and constantly on reg show because the shorts know that once it becomes close to the merger time, those shares will become 0.087 CSSC shares. This is what they're talking about, CSSE. So right here, as a result of the mergers, right, at the closing time of the merger transactions, the company will become a wholly subsidiary of CSSE. At the effective time of the first company merger, each share of Class A stock will be canceled and represented to receive 0.087 shares of the Class A stock at a value of 0.0001. So, personally, I'm not holding this long term, knowing that. It's up to you guys how you want to play it. But to me, this is one of those, I'm fine doing a short term, rip on it, but I'm not holding this because as soon as they announce the merger, this thing's going to go tank. like the merger date, because you'll have a date where your shares will receive. Let's see, right here. As a result, right, the effective time of the first company merger, each company Class A common stock will be canceled and represent to the right to receive 0.087 shares. That's the exchange ratio of the Class A common stock. So, all of my shares are locked up in a 1750 covered calls expiring 2024. Am I an idiot? Daniel, buy those back. I mean, not financial advice, but like, don't hold those. Like, I don't care how much money they gave you. Don't buy it. Don't just buy them back at a loss. Like, it just, because you're basically, read this right here. As soon as they announce that merger, these things are going to go tank. So. Oh, you're talking about your Aterian? Okay, never mind. I thought you were talking about Redbox. I was like, whoa, don't do that. Like, don't sell cover calls on Redbox, and then, all your stuff's going to be converted over on the merger. But if you're talking about Tyrion, then that's something separate. Sorry. Okay. So just wanted you guys to know, this is what's going on. I'm going to link this in here for you. You guys can comb through if you want to. There. That's the Redbox merger stuff, and you just have to sort through. So. Okay, here we go. So I'll take this away. We can go back and just talk about the rest of the stuff. But you guys wanted to cover Redbox real quick. That's Redbox. I don't know if I should have. Probably should have added that on the end. I don't know if I'm able to. Let me see. Okay. I don't know if that will work or not, but we can try it. There we go. All right, so if you guys can hit the like button so we get more people in here and the algo get a little bit better. But yeah, we just talked about that, so we're good there. And for a moment, you sounded like a father. I am a father. I got 2 kids. All right, so let me go back up and just make sure I got everything right. All right, so I just joined. It's nice to see green today. Volume wasn't that impressive. I looked at earlier today. All right. So Redbox confirmed today via the email at this time the registration statement is suspended, so the warrants are not exercisable. Correct. But they said that they could be reinstated. That means they can be reinstated at any moment. So just want you guys to be very safe and understand that. So when they announce the merger, all of your shares are going to be converted over at 0.087% ratio. So you guys need to understand that. What's up, Quack? Let's see. I bet that they would buy back and dilute, retain the company. I always keep wondering. You guys were talking about the windows on your car. All right. Do we have any lawyers in the Discord? Actually, Hustle Up used to be a lawyer. He passed the bar and did it for a couple of years and didn't like it, so he went into sales. But he probably could read through and understand some of that stuff better than us. Okay, somebody asked, Info Shorts asks about DTC. And DTC is one that I actually like. And I think I've told you guys this before. So these guys are interesting. They've got a very small float. Like super small float. And what's happening is, I think I can show you this. Let me see if I can pull up Ortex real quick so I can just show you guys what's happening and what I think will happen with the stock. This is early. Like we're probably too early on this one. We're like Michael Burry on stuff, because Michael Burry's always like super early. Like he's right. Like whatever he talks about, he's right about. He just usually is like a year or two early. Like if you just did a year and a half, whatever Michael Burry talks about is the next problem. Just wait a year and a half and then play it then, and you'll probably nail it. he's always early because he understands the stuff, but he also can't time it very well. So he sees the problems, and then the markets typically drag their feet or do whatever they're trying to avoid, and then eventually it happens. Well, that's the way I'm looking at DTC. Okay. Bid ask on this thing is like super wide because I don't think they have a ton of liquidity, right? So here's something interesting, right? Let me get out of this one. All right, so I don't want to get in trouble and get my thing shut off. So I'm going to screenshot stuff for you guys. That way I don't get in trouble. Let me just get the right things here. All right. So I'm going to just clip it real quick for you guys, and we can take a look at it. Save. Okay. So this is mainly what I wanted to kind of view over here, just to show you guys. So, like I said, we're early. If you look, though, up here, right? That's a weird change. Okay. All right, so they're saying right now, make sure this is the right ticker. Yep. So they're saying that only 16% of the free float is shorted, right? So what we did was let me pull up the Discord real quick because we think that number is higher based off of the S3 stuff that came off Fish's Bloomberg. So if you guys don't know, Fish is part of the Discord, and he put up a new section called the Bloomberg Data, and he's put out the short data on a couple different stocks. So one of them was this one, and he had put out, let's see, DTC right now, the short interest is actually 3.4 million, according to S3 Black Box. See if I can pull it up. Yeah, okay. So let me open up this way, and then I'll pull it over so you guys can see it. Okay. So see right here, DTC solo brand solo brands, right here. The SI shares, they have reported right at 3.43 million. Now, I'll just show you guys again. Where is it here? Ortex is only reporting 2 million, right? So what we should see is we should start seeing utilization and the cost of borrows and all that stuff eventually start going up again. And we're going to see they're only calculating like 16% of the float. This will go up. And I guarantee you'll see this thing at some point jump up, and then the squeeze score on it will jump because they are reporting like 3.4 million, and Ortex is estimating off their calculation. S3, who I trust more than Ortex, they're reporting a higher amount than the last exchange reported date. If you look at the exchange reported stuff, they had it at 3.2, right? Well, they have it now at 3.4, and Ortex is still guessing that it's now gone down. I don't know how they're calculating their stuff, but their data on this has been wrong from the get-go because they also don't have the right amount of float for the stock. So we went through all the filings and actually started going out on this. So we're looking at probably about 46 to 80, yeah, like 46% like SI on this stock is our guess based off the actual free float. All right. So anyway, this stock I think will have a nice bounce at some point. It may consolidate in this range for a while, and then it will have a nice run up. I'm not sure how high, but that all depends on who comes in and what's going on there. All right. Why isn't there a September options change for Aterian? It's sometimes it's too far out because they're doing weeklies packing. That's why. It's nothing like suspicious. It's just that sometimes they don't have everything that far out. They skip out things, and as they get closer, they'll start adding them. So, because I know we have I think October or November or something like that, and then we have a January. You'll notice there's a couple of months that are missing in there. There also jumps from January to January 2023 to January 2024. So that's pretty normal for the options chain. So that's nothing like suspicious. Okay. So everyone wants to talk about Tyrion, looks like. So we'll go back to Aterian. Tyrion today was green. That's good. It was also green and after hours up almost 1%. I told you guys that my thought was that we were going to see the MACD crossover on the daily. And I said it was going to probably happen mid to end of the week back on Monday. Sure enough, we got our first little one right here crossing over. You see this right here on the stochastic. I thought it was going to take longer. I thought the stochastic was going to go kind of ease it out and we were going to hit it on Thursday or Friday. But that was a nice surprise having it happen today. So it's crossed over again. We're actually seeing the OBV going up, and we had a little bit more volume that went along with it. So that's always a good thing. I'd like to see us obviously continue up. Max pain for the stock is 3. So is this just a bull trap? Is this just Wednesday? Let's draw everyone in, get people trying to buy 350s and 3s, and then we're just going to rug pull and land the stock at 292 on Friday. We'll find out. But I've told people stop buying out of the monies on this stock and other stocks. In my opinion, I think it's silly, but unless you have theta. If you want to buy $5 and 750s, that's fine. Make sure you got plenty of theta on them. Anyone that's new, theta means time. So, all right. I've learned this from researching DTC. I had to Google so much stuff. Yeah. I combed through the market for an hour, found 2 tickers that I think might be good. Do you want to take a peek? Sure, we can take a look. Why not? I'm fine. We'll get into Aterian after. I just want to go with the flow of the chart or the chat right now. So let's just take a look real quick and just make sure there's no glaring things for Tom here. All right, is this the ticker? This one right here, Tom? Tom, can you hear me? Is this the ticker that you think shows promise? Because it looks just like DTC right now. Like, literally, it looks exactly like DTC. Let me just see this for fun. Let's pull up DTC. Let's pull it up on the daily. And then let's pull up this ticker, which is NVLH. Was there an F at the end? Or is it T? You're going to have to help me out here because I don't see the NVLH. T. I don't see that. I see one that says F. But let's go to it. I don't think that's right. VLH. Can't find that ticker. Is that a Canadian? I don't see it for some reason. All right. Well, here, watch me do this. Let me just do it like this real quick. I'm gonna do one single one, right? And I'm gonna type in NVLHT. We can't find the symbol, so I don't know what to tell you. And then I can try the other one. It is GSV. Okay, so what are you looking at on here? I see it looks like it bounced here. It's been moving up. I mean, it's getting kind of towards this range. What makes you think that this is like, why do you think it's going to run? I mean, I could see it running back up into its Ortex cloud, which is around here. I don't know if that's big gains, but tell me why you think that's going to run. Is there some catalyst or something that you know or you think? Because at this point, I'm just looking at a regular chart that, I mean, it's gold, right? And that's also penny stock. I mean, it almost ran to $1 here. But yeah, you'll have to tell me what the catalyst is because I don't see it. All right. So we'll go back to merger isn't supposed to happen until the second half of the year, so not anytime super soon. They also said that about the SST, that there was no way that was going to go faster. They also said that about the Spurt merger, that it would take months to do, and then it happened within weeks. So I don't trust that kind of logic, Jeff Cat Buckeye, just throwing it out there. I've been burned before with those, well, it can't happen this quickly, and then things happen that quickly. So you need to just realize that they will rush mergers if it keeps it from squeezing, because it's happened before. Yeah. Okay, so Overminding says, Anon, your voice is so soothing. It's putting me asleep. If you guys want me to write. My wife was like, you should do ASMR. I guess that's what it's called. It's when people whisper and talk like this. Hey, guys, I'm going to talk to you about stocks. All right. Let's see. Big Lebowski says they announced a date, Jeff, but that'd be enough to tank it. Just let's get into the ATER MACD cross. Sure. Let's get back into it. All right. Here's the Tyrion. Here's the daily. Look at that nice green arrow. That's the crossover. Boom. See on the CCI, it's crossed over. On the Awesome, it's coming up. On the TTM, it's coming up. So I expect maybe the end of the week into next week, we might come back into this Ortex cloud up here, which is around the 4-something range. So that's kind of what I see. You can see right here, this came down, dipped into the Ortex, or Ichiro, what's it called? Ichimo, whatever. I call it an Ortex cloud just because I don't know why I've been calling that. The problem is I'm not actually talking to anyone, so I'm like usually just talking to myself, so there's no one to like correct me. This is called an Ichimoku cloud, but I had to do a Google search on it, and basically you can read about it if you guys want me to link a description to how it works. But basically, you'll come up and you'll see kind of where things will, if you're trading above it or below it. But sometimes they'll come over to these crossovers, and you'll see the price movement will come soon after that. And you can see right here, they have another one over here, so they're anticipating we should have a move up maybe around here, which is around the 16th. we'll see. I mean, it could happen sooner. It can happen a little bit after that. It could be over here, but this is what it's predicting. So that's one way of looking at it. I know, but a father of Daniel. Sorry about that. All right, what's up, Anon? I know I need to read comments about people thinking about the squeezes at $10, but shake them and then tell them what FOMO and gamma squeezes start. Wait, when I read comments about the people thinking that the squeeze is at $10, I want to shake them and tell them that's FOMO and when the gamma. That's true. I was going to say, if you start seeing a stock just rocketing, that's when people start jumping in. So, I'm an anonymous father of a few also. Nah. I mean, I did have a German girlfriend when I was over there for a month, but I won't embarrass her. Her name was Carmen. She was cool. But it's funny. So, like, she wrote me a letter, and, like, I was like, can you just email me? She's like, well, I don't have a computer. I'm like, go to, like, an internet cafe. She's like, okay. So, like, she sent me, like, I think she tried to send me an email, but it didn't go through or something like that. I don't know what the country code things were, but I tried calling her because back then we were using like pay cards and prepaid cards, and I called the number that she gave me and it didn't work. Well, I didn't understand that you had to put in a country code because I'd never called anyone internationally before. So I just figured her number didn't work, and I was back in San Diego and having fun. So that was the end of my German girlfriend. She wrote me later and found me on MySpace and then was like, what happened? I'm like, I'm so sorry. But at the time I had a girlfriend and she was like, it was not meant to be. Our month of love was never meant to be. But I don't think she has any kids, so I think we're okay. Okay, let's see. After the merger shares, Redbox shares, they will be 0.63 per share as of today's price at $7.35. Yeah, I'm good not holding a stock that's going to be worth 63 cents. Like, even if it gets up to 18, it's still not worth that. Like, it's not worth a conversion. So, yeah, the merger will kill this, Redbox squeeze. So, but yeah, by the time you hear about it, it'll be down like a significant amount. But yeah, there you go. Is he one of those Twitter influencers that says, remember who called the stock a year and a half ago? I don't know. Are you talking about me? I don't typically call out stocks that often, so the guy Anon just talked about. All right, so let's see. You guys want to see the ATER Ortex? Sure, we can do that. Let me pull that up for you. I can do that in the FinTel if you'd like, so we can take a look at it together. Just show you guys what's going on. And we also have, and if you guys are not part of the Discord, we have a free Discord that you guys can go and jump in. And Fish has been posting data from Bloomberg in there, which is obviously worth like $2,000 a month, which is nice. So I would highly recommend jumping in. It's free. Literally, like, people are like, "What's the catch?" I'm like, there is none. I just wanted to help retail learn stuff. So, I accept donations on my Patreon, but that's, if you guys want to, you don't have to. So, all right. So there's our link to the Discord just in case. So, Ichimiku. Yeah, I don't know. I use them sometimes. It just depends on what I'm doing, but I do like them for. All right, so let me go back. All right, so where are we on the chat? Okay, so we're pulling up Ortex data, right? Somewhere I had this up already. Let me pull up and find. Here we go. Sorry. You know, it's funny. So my kids were watching the Chipmunks movie. I have that stupid Christmas song in my head, the one with the hula hoop. Christmas time is here. I just keep hearing, I still want a hula hoop. Over and over in my head. It's like a little earworm that just got stuck. That's been going through my head while I'm doing the stream. All right. Grabbing ATER's or text data for you guys. All right, here we go. So they're still reporting 28.23 million shares. Now, we've been kind of working on a more accurate, what we think is kind of like, it's a more reliable way of looking at the float because it accounts for shares that are probably lent out. And I know Cyper and Fish were working on it, and is it Rikishi or something? I'll learn how to say it. It's like Rikishma or something like that. They were all working on it tonight. So, all right. So let's take a look at the ATER data. So once again, they don't have the float right, in my opinion. So they don't have a lot of things right. Let's be honest on Ortex. So I'm starting to not like using Ortex to kind of gauge how it goes, because as soon as you pull up like actual data from like better things, let's see if we can pull up the better data. Here, just to show you guys. I know this is Excel, but Fish is confirmed, and I've seen his thing. It comes from the black box, but they're still having right now, as of 6/7, which was yesterday. It was around 12 million shares that were shorted. Fish, if you're in here, do you have the ones from today? Is it changed any? I don't know if we've confirmed it, but yeah, 12.2. So they have this number wrong. So they have it as 9 million, and S3 has it as 12.2. So my guess would be when we get the data out on the 15th, you'll see the number jump from like 9 or 10 to probably like 12. So that's what it looks like. I don't know. They said they basically were even for today, right? Return shares, borrowed shares were about even. So they covered in the morning and then, probably try to shake the tree, get people to buy. And because one way of getting people out of the tree is if you raise the price and they go, well, I don't know if it's going to go up anymore. Maybe I'll just, I'll sell now. And so they'll try to like get the people who are swing trading or day trading, or they're trying to get basically the ones that are just like, I want out, like I can minimize my loss and just get out now. So okay, so here's the numbers. According to Ortex, they have it as like 35%. We have it, I think, closer to like 40 in this case. Utilization's been 100% since March 8th, which was how many days ago? Anyone want to do? Let's see. How many days since March 8th? That's actually like the first thing when I Google. It's been 92 days, straight days. If we do market days, it'd probably be, I don't know, like 60, 70 or something like that, straight market days. The only one that I know that's longer than that is GameStop. GameStop's at something like 100-something days of 100% utilization. So there we go, SS. Hopefully that answered your... If you want, you can pause the video and take a look at it, or I'll put it up on the Discord. We can put a section maybe for it, or just put it directly in the Aterian. Okay. How likely is DTC dilution? via a warrant or offering. I don't think DTC has any warrants, in fact. Let me take a look real quick for you guys. I'll do it quick. DTC has no warrants. They don't have any relevant warrants or sort of dilution in the works. The only thing about DTC is they do need some cash, but they, like the float's really small and it's locked up by a few huge companies. So the question is, going into the summer when they probably will have better sales, who wants to be that short on them? If you'll notice, the short interest isn't that high. It's like 3.2 million shares, but it's still enough to raise the stock price. And then if other people if they're closing their positions, they're probably going to be more like a $6, $7, $8 a share stock. Here, we'll pull up what DTC has, right? DTC, because they haven't been around that long. Let me see if I can. Where is this? Yeah. I don't like it, that view of it, but let's take a look and see if we can maybe do it on the. That's probably enough. Yeah. So this is the 4 hour. This was the spring. Now we'll probably come, and we're still trading above it. So what I'd like to see, and it's going to be coming up on, can I see it here? Yeah. So this right here is the one. That's the 50-day. So I'd like to see it bounce up to the 50-day and get over it. So that'd be good on DTC. But they don't have any offerings or warrants. They have no ATMs. They have no warrants at all. So DTC was at 80% utilization on S3, yet we had almost 500K FTDs last report. How does that make any sense? How is it failing to deliver when it's not 100% utilized? I mean, that's a good question. Like, this is one of those like stocks that I told you guys, it doesn't look like there's a ton of liquidity. Retail just hasn't figured this out yet, to be honest with you. Like, retail hasn't been like, oh, there's something going on with this stock. Like, and that's fine. Like, retail's in Aterian, retail's in BBIG, Redbox, all that stuff. But I think at some point in the next couple of weeks or months, DTC is going to be the one. And it will be all over and everyone's going to be like FOMOing into it. But like, I'm starting my position now. Like, I wish I started it down here. Obviously, I'm fine starting it, here-ish, and in this range. Because I think at this point right now, anything under 5 is a gift. So every time it has dipped down under 5, I keep buying it. And I'll keep doing that until eventually it pops, because I think it will pop. Yeah, and they're trying to keep it in this range. Like, you can probably, my guess would be if we looked out and made a loading zone, it's probably from like 6 to basically 4 is the loading zone. They're trying to keep it right here in the middle and consolidate and accumulate shares. So we'll see. But yeah, something weird happened today. They wouldn't let me buy DTC or GameStop. I got a message about it, and I was like, that's weird. And I know it was only part of the thing, but like, I just found it interesting because DTC wasn't really having any volume. So I'm like, I don't even understand why this has been restricted. Like, that just seemed weird to me. I have the the message that somebody wrote, and I posted in the DTC room, so you guys can take a look. But all right, can you look at one for me? It's called DRCT. I think it's extremely undervalued micro stock with 137% cost to borrow. Yeah, we can take a look real quick. Let's just see. DRCT. Direct Digital Holdings. Okay, so it's a penny stock. I mean, let's go to the daily real quick. I just want to see. So was that a high of like $5, and now it's sitting down here. Let's take a look. So it crossed over on the MACD here. Let me just zoom out a little bit so make it look a little nicer. But it looks like it's coming back down. So that's not good. The CCI has already crossed over down. It's actually switching over on the awesome oscillator, and it looks like there might be a little bit more downside. The TTM is indecisive. You're trading below the Ichimoku, but let's take a look and see what their warrant or anything situation looks like real quick. DRCT. Their cash need is pretty high, or not. It's medium. So they've got about a little over a year of cash based off their cash burn. They do have 2.8 million warrants at an exercise price of 5. And it's only got at 1.6% short interest, though, is what I'm seeing. Like, if I type this in, DRCT, so the cost to borrow is not even registered on here. But I see, actually, I do see it there. It's just not being reported. But they said there's no short interest on this stock. Like, literally it says right here that the utilization's only 21%. They've returned 500 shares. They borrowed none. And the current SI of the free float is 0.77, so less than 1%. So I don't know. It looks like it right now, if I'm going off this MACD, it looks like it has a little bit more down there. I don't understand. I don't know what they do or what the appeal is, but it's not a short squeeze play from what I see, unless it's just a micro cap that, like, you think that if we got, not, I should rephrase that. If retail was to enter it because it's a micro cap, what would happen? Yeah, they've got about like 2 million shares. So this is one where, like, I've seen, for example, like, you'll have a Will Eden or one of those guys that's a pump and dump people. They'll all run in at the same time. Their front guys front load the stock. They get retail to their discords to, like, basically pump the stock, and then they get out, and then everyone else gets left with bags. That's typically what's happened in the past. But yeah, if you had something like that happen to the stock, yeah, it could fly, because this stock has no, it's only like 2 million free float. So one rich person could lock up the entire thing. So that stock looks so illiquid. Whoops, it is okay, so Tom finally got it together. Way to go, Tom. And okay, so this one. So let's take a look. Why is it spiking like that? That's weird. This is just on the dailies, huh? Huh. That's a very weird looking stock. It looks like... Is it just a microcap? Is that why? Let's see. NVH. Sorry, NVLHF. NVLHF. Well, Ortex doesn't have it. It's that small where Ortex doesn't even have that ticker that I'm seeing. Let me see if Dilution's got it. NVLHF. Yeah, nobody's got this ticker listed. So I can't even, like, look up. Let me just see. NVL. Right. NVLHF. HF. Okay, there we go. So, what do we have here? It's a free float of 61 million. Shares outstanding 6.8. So it actually has larger float than I would have thought based off, but that's such a weird. What's their institutional ownership like? What's going on with the stock? This is so weird. Are they just delisting? Is that what's going on here? Lithium prices are going down. Lithium is the catalyst? Lithium's been up. You guys are arguing about lithium. Alright, let's see. People can hear beer cans opening and whiskey getting poured. You guys want me to pour some whiskey for you? I haven't been drinking. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to have a good glass of scotch. Maybe the stock will keep going up. We're going to conduct an experiment. You guys ready? I'm going to do my ASMR now. So, guys, I'm going to open my whiskey. Did you hear that? Did you hear the whiskey opening? It's scotch, actually. Okay, I'm going to now pour my whiskey. I'm really just peeing. Okay, there we go. Let's see if this brings up the stock tomorrow. Because I think everyone will be much happier if that happens. Okay. All right. Popped in for like, brah. What's up, Market Ninja? Logging it out before my ungrateful wife gets mad at me. Thanks for coming in. Okay. BKKT I do like. And I know we have someone in our Discord that likes them too. But obviously this is one where it's been kind of beaten down. All right, so Tom likes it. Nevada Lithium. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Yep, that one was an earworm too. Okay. Baby Shark. Yeah, that was an earworm. God, my daughter listened to that over and over again. She was a shark when she was like, I think 2 years old because that song. All right. So Bloomberg has DTC around 3.5 million short today. Yeah, and what was Ortex reporting? Ortex was reporting 2.38. So you can see they're off. What's up, Anon? Is it possible a recession may hurt DTC stock badly? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so they wouldn't be bankrupt. So they do have revolving credit, and they also have they have the ability because they're like Aterian. They still have a very low float, so it's not like if they had to raise some money, that's fine. I've heard different takes on this. So you've got people who say, okay, with a recession coming around, every business is going to get hurt during a recession. Doesn't matter who you are. The key to that, though, is to be able to reduce down your stuff. And, at that point, you probably would discount some of your inventory. But you just weather the storm. And that's kind of what Aterian's been planning. That's what a lot of these guys are planning. So they're going to stockpile cash, and they'll try to just get through and find different ways of raising money. Now, the one nice thing that I saw about DTC is they did acquire at least that clothing brand, Chubbies, which looks pretty fun. Now, obviously, retail sales gets banged up no matter what happens, but there are still going to be people out there that are obviously going to need clothes. To me, solo stoves are a luxury item that not every single person needs. But at the same time, and same with kayaks and the paddle boards. But at the same time, when recessions happen, a lot of people will start camping. That's one thing that I think people underestimate. Like, when things get tight, they don't go on those extravagant vacations, but they'll do small things like going camping. So, buying a $200 solo stove and going camping is a lot cheaper, and paying $40 for a campsite fee. That's a lot cheaper than going to Bora Bora or something like that. All right. So, yeah, I don't think it's bankruptcy. I don't really think DTC is at big risk. They have a revolving credit. They also have the ability to, if they needed to, they can raise cash, because their stock right now is still very much like, I consider them microcap because they don't have, microcap, because basically they don't have that many shares. It's not like a BBIG where you have like 250 million shares outstanding. Like, they've got like 63. So, and most of them are held by institutions, and you can see that there's insider buying. So if these insiders were, seriously worried about that, I could see them, probably bailing out, whereas you're seeing them buy. So, to me, I think they're fine. You have to decide, like, do you want to hold them long term, or do you want to, look at them like they could be a rebound candidate? As far as BKKT, I mean, the stock's really kind of just chopping around here. You can see they did cross over on the MACD. Stochastic looks like it's going to cross, so I could see them taking another move up, and testing some of the threes in the next couple days. It's all depending, though, if this continues to grow or if this starts shrinking. If this starts shrinking and coming down, you start seeing the RSI coming down, and you can already tell, like, the ADL and the OBV are going down. So it all depends on that. So I'd like to see this start widening and getting up above that crossover. So that's what I think about BKTT. Let's take a look. What's up, Becca? All right. Sergio says, oh, it's Empress. What's up, dude? Hey, what's going on? I just wanted daily chart comparisons for... I was going to say, I did actually buy some HUSA today. The Houston utility, or what was it? Houston, I don't know what it stands for. Houston something oil company, whatever it is. IMPP calls. Yeah, I've got HUSA calls for November. All right, so you want to see the oil ones. All right, let me just do this. Do 4 across, sorry. All right, hold on. I messed it all up. Okay, let me fix it. I think I made sets, so we should be able to load sets. See, I did something smart. I made some sets, so now I can do this faster. All right, so you want tickers IMPP on the first one. I wish you could tab over. That'd be better. Indo. HUSA, which is the one I bought. They did fade at the end of the day, unfortunately. And MARPS. Okay. So let's do this. IMPP had pretty solid run up. 27%. Indo was down 7%. HUSA was up 6%, and they were up 4%. So obviously, IMPP had the largest move up. Let's see. There's still room here on the RSI. This is all on the 1 minute though. So let's zoom out to the 1 hour on all of these. Take a look. So the question is, are you looking for value or are you looking for momentum? Okay. So here is the 1 hour chart. So obviously they have had a very, very strong move up, but they're also getting overbought on the 1 hour RSI. Let's move it to 4 hour for all of these. Yeah, still overbought on the 4 hour, and the daily still has room on the daily. So, you could see a nice move up into this Ichiko area to see if you can touch that, because this has been like some sort of like huge like area that they think they're going to go to. What was this high of? No, that's not right. Does that say 10,000 or 10? That's 10. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's pull up the hour or the 4 hour on this one. So they've been kind of the falling knife, huh? Indo. I do see, they got nailed down today. I don't know why. It was about to cross over on the MACD, and somebody just pushed on it down. So talk to me about Indo. Why is Indo doing this? Anyone? Anyone got any theories, or why is Indo crash or like getting hammered while the other ones are at least moving up during this time frame? So this is the 4 hour. Let me zoom out a little bit. Talk to me, Goose. Give me your thoughts. All right. All right. So let's zoom out back this way. Still a little tight. There we go. All right. So, obviously the strongest move up was on the IMPP, followed by HUSA, and then the MARPs. And then Indo's been getting beat down. So my question is, what's going on with Indo right now? Anyone have an idea? Let's take a look. Indo is Indonesian energy company. They have 1.67 million in convertible notes to warrants. That's 700 at $6. So those things could be exercised at any point. Short interest is 11% on them. What about HUSA? HUSA's also got 11% short interest. They have a low cash need, though. And they have a little more cash ready. They do... Yep. They've already raised their money, so... That's why I went with them. Float's 9 million too, so it's small. HUSA, what's your strike price? So I bought some $7 when it would dip today. I bought some $7 calls for November, and I sold them for like $5,000 profit, and then I re-entered on a dip down here with $9 calls for November. And I'm going to hold on to those for a little bit longer and see what happens. So, and then let's take a look at some MARPs. Yeah, I don't see, there's no dilution, there's no nothing, it's not even that shorted. It's got a tiny float though. All right, I've been busy, so all right, we'll go back to Aterian because people want to talk about that before I go. So I'm just looking, and we're about out of time. So let's just go through this real quick. Talk about Aterian. All right, so I pulled it over here for some reason. So obviously, Tyrion went up slightly today. At one point it was up 12%. I think we finished at like 5%. Yeah, about 5%, and then it went up another 1% in after hours. So we're still in this loading zone. We did cross over. See that nice little green on the MACD? Remember I told you guys on Monday I expected the MACD to cross over later this week. Well, it's happening. We had a nice crossover on the stochastic. We're starting to see the OEVs curling up, right? And then RSI has now curled up, so that means we are going to be at least attempting to see if we can continue on this MACD trend where we crossed over. Sorry, MACD right here. So slightly more volume today too compared to the last couple. So we had like 7.91 million in volume. So that's an improvement over the last couple days and weeks. So is it just today, though? Is it a bull trap trying to draw in people buying $3.50 options and $3 calls and then burning them? That's possible. It is. I mean, I'm not going to blow smoke. That's what the market maker loves to do. Somehow I slowed down my mouse. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So we're going to find out real quickly tomorrow if this was just a fluke and then we push back down, or if this was maybe the start of having a crossover and then making some moves up into the $4 to $5 range. So, but yeah, hold on. All right, so that's what's going on with Aterian. Obviously, there's a lot of data that's going around right now in the Discord. Fish has been really good about posting all the Bloomberg stuff. Obviously, we have Fintel and Ortex in there as well, but I think we're getting pretty close to figuring out the float stuff, and I think Aterian, as long as people are patient, and I would recommend actually registering your shares if that's possible. Yeah. Like, no lie, I think that one of the most critical things that retail can do at this point is if you haven't registered your shares with Fintel, it's free. I've used Plaid before. I trust the service. And to be honest with you, it's nice to know that your shares are at least being accounted for, because we want to know how many shares we own, because we've always said we thought that we owned the float, but we could never prove it. Well, now we have a chance to prove it. And there's going to be retail out there that already sold, and that's totally fine. I get it. But at the same time, if you haven't linked your account, and apparently if they're trying to get people that are outside the country able to link this now, because I know some people were having trouble with it. So they're emailing Plaid and trying to get Plaid to start doing this for other countries too, because we know there's a lot of people in other countries that have literally hundreds of thousands of shares. I know some of the guys who are in Sweden, I think some of the other Scandinavian countries that all like Aterian stock, they can't register their stuff. So, but we're trying to get as many people as we can. I mean, I've done it. I know. You know, I should get my mom to do it because she does have shares. So we'll see if Mama Anon will go ahead and get on there too and register her shares. And then, you know, we do have some whales that haven't registered either. Like, we know for a fact that we've got some whales that have not registered. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think everyone knows kind of the story about, there's a guy in our Discord that has millions of shares, and he's obviously not going to disclose that. So he's, you know, but we apparently had verified it. I think Fish had verified it. So we'll just know that for our own records. But if we know, for example, we own 8%, 10% of Aterian's free float, that's pretty impressive. The fact that, 201 members of Tyrion holders owned 6% of the stock is pretty nuts. So I think other people should get out there and make sure they get theirs registered as well. It's free, and you can do it with a free Fintel account, like just the generic version, as long as you link it. And there's instructions on the Discord how to do that. Just ask in the Tyrion channel. Somebody will point you to the DD. Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a great evening. I will go ahead and make sure I get everything. I'm going to, like I said, I tried to do DD today, and then I realized I had to do payroll, and I had a couple projects to finish up. But I am going to, I just convinced a buddy to buy shares today. He bought 500. Nice. Tell him to register them on Fintel. I've got my best friend buying and a couple other people too. I'm trying to convince one of my rich friends to buy a couple, you know, because he's been adding, and he's like, when do I buy? I'm like, just anytime it drops, just buy. And he was like, okay, that seems pretty simple. I tried to link TD Ameritrade, and it says I need to log in and update my account. I tried for 4 hours. I don't know, Tom. I used TD, and I was able to link it no problem. So, yeah, just add them to the account. No, Josh, we're doing Fintel right now. Everybody's signing up for the free Fintel version. It's linked on the Discord if you want. Just ask in the Tyrion main, and somebody will walk you through the DD. But basically, all you have to do is sign up for Fintel's free version, link your account through Plaid, which is a trusted third-party site, and then they'll actually suck in all your data, and then it's reporting what retail owns of Aterian. So if you have a couple thousand shares, you want to get those reported, they will tell you how much of the float retail owns as a whole, and it's all been verified. So, all right, guys, I will go ahead and link the Discord one more time. If you're not part of it and you've been hanging out here, you should be part of the Discord. It's free. There's no catch. That's just free. Don't charge anything. All right, there it is. And I'm not worried about the Patreon. We'll do Patreon stuff later. I want to make sure everyone's making money off the stocks. So you guys take it easy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Have a great evening, guys.